Hey guys, Dr. Sean here with The Active Life. We're going to talk to you about our brute tip of the day. Today's tip, we're going to be talking about how to get your hips and your torso going outside of the sagittal plane. So Dr. Jeremy is going to help me out today. We're going to be talking about different planes of movement that you see in a typical CrossFit workout and how you can start to build some functional strength in other planes so that when you come back to doing the more traditional stuff like a regular deadlift, a regular squat, there's some carryover and your joints are more healthy. First, let's define the three planes of movement. The sagittal plane is basically anything you can do in a hallway that's nice and tight to the body. So anything basically you do squatting, deadlifting, those are sagittal plane. The frontal plane would be if you turn sideways and moved this way. So a hallway where the wall is here and the wall is here behind my back. Anything I can do moving in this direction is the frontal plane. The last plane is transverse. That's going to be rotational, right? So anything when we're throwing a ball, swinging a bat, whatever, those are transverse plane exercises. There's one more thing you want to be cognizant of, and that's when you're resisting movement. So a lot of people are very aware that you can create movement in these planes, but one of the things that's less addressed and less programmed is resistance to those planes of movement. So if we do an exercise where your body would want to move in a various plane, but you have to resist that load, that counts as a movement in that plane. So we're going to talk first about how to replace a standard sagittal plane exercise like a deadlift, which you all know, right? The deadlift is standard form, straight down, straight up. We don't care. The hand grip doesn't change which plane you're in. We're going to start by having Dr. Jeremy show you what we call a one-arm suitcase deadlift. Now you can go really heavy with this and do it with a farmer's handle standing on a riser. He's going to demonstrate for our purposes, stay nice and light with a kettlebell. Single kettlebell on one side of the body, held in one arm. What the weight wants to do is, as Jeremy goes back down, we'll show you, the weight wants to turn his body like this. So by resisting, Jeremy is now working in the transverse plane, even though he looks like he's working in the sagittal plane, because we're resisting that rotation. Another good way to start to build in some transverse plane exercise here is with a single leg deadlift. So Jeremy will throw one leg back, and now he's going to stand back up. So this single leg exercise here, what we're seeing is that he's having to resist the rotation. He's having to resist, if he stands back up, the side-to-side bending, which is in the frontal plane. So a single leg deadlift like this is going to be helpful in various planes of exercise, okay? When we want to move to something like a squat, we can do lateral box step-ups, right? So using a single leg, stepping on up like that. Right now, Jeremy is moving in the frontal plane, side to side, and when he stands on one leg, he's resisting all kinds of rotation in the transverse plane. You guys can extrapolate these movements out and start to add things. Now that you understand what the planes of motion are and how you can attack them, you can get yourself out of the most commonly used sagittal plane, build some joint health, tax your joints in all different directions, and be more prepared when you come back in for your next workout. Until next time, Dr. Sean and Dr. Jeremy with The Active Life, bringing you your brute tip.